Vital Signs from Skeptic Monk. The song is called Vital Signs. We are still here at VMC Planet Radio. It is Mr. Stan and Vision. He always calls himself Mr. Magandhi. Has got no connection with Mahatma Gandhi or Gandhi Square or anything like that. But his name is Vision. We also have Dr. Mabila Mathebula in the house. Then we also have Prince. He called himself B.I.G. You know people that copy other people's name, right? And then they get away with it. I don't know, but it happens.
He still needs to register the name.
So I don't know if he's gonna be able to trademark that name. But
Yeah,
in any case,
copyright.
but in any case, she is here. She's got hair as tall as goes right up to the knees, right? She's wearing those nice luxury goggles. Luxury goggles. I wanted to say something else, I had to take a detour there, and you can see not that she needed it. She didn't need it. Why are you looking at me like that?
Because I'm still thinking.
No, because she is okay. She's just like you, like yellow bone.
Oh, I thought but then I
No, there's a lot of similarities. There's a lot of similarities, right?
But I don't have hair to my knees.
All right, yes, but there's a lot of similarities.
Okay.
One, today you didn't have your grills, right? She has one grill.
Okay.
You can ask her to smile.
Yes.
Right?
Okay.
Yellow bone.
Okay.
Spectacles.
Okay. Just say I'm not wearing mine. Okay.
Yeah, today you decided you're not going to wear.
Or Stan, if I could also add, I think she also has a very strong magnetic personality. Capable of charming birds from the trees.
Did you hear that? Yes.
No. I'll be writing these down.
Okay, what do you want to do? What do you want to do?
Mr. Stan, think about it. When upon so well, did you know that you are capable of charming
but she is also a debonair as well.
that is capable of charming birds
Damn.
down off trees?
That's deep.
It's deep.
Very, 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 very interesting. You are still with Mr. Stan and Vision right here at VMC Planet Radio. We are joined by Dr. Mabila Mathebula. Right? Maybe before we speak to Zozo, right? Because she doesn't want to be called Ramona, right?
Now she's going to be called in the podcast. She'll have to know.
We were not going to say, charming birds from the tree, right? She has been in the rail industry for more than 2 decades, right?
Okay.
She started from the ground up.
Okay.
Am I quoting Rick Ross now? From the bottom.
You see, no, that's Jake started from the bottom. Now we're here.
She started from the bottom, now she's here. Her name is Zozo Makhoba. We're going to be talking to her. She has been in the rail industry for more than 20 years, and she is here looking radiant. You can even see that a fulgent smile as she speaks, that radiates a lot of energies right here at VMC Planet Radio. I think even if we do not have the light here at the studio will still be lit.
What is wrong with this?
Yes.
I can't even come up with words.
I knew something was wrong today.
So
30 minutes before our show, the 2 kids were here.
Yeah.
And remember, about 5 months ago, I said those could be my replacements. They were here. I think he hit my nerves. He made me nervous because I'm never running out of words.
I'm very surprised, but I'm sure during the time that you are going to freestyle, all of those words are actually going to come up. So, and if she is sleeping in the middle of the night and you ask her about anything that has to do with rail, she will be there. She drove trains, she became a manager, and she is now an assistant manager at a rail institution. Her name is Zozo. Welcome to VMC Planet Radio.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah.
can be able to tell my story. Hopefully, I will be an inspiration to some young women out there. You know, because like it's been a journey, and it's been a very exciting journey. You know, growing up, I grew up at Mdeni. When we grew up, we used to travel by train. You know, and being that young girl, you know, I never imagined myself ukuthi one day me I will be driving a train, you know, because we would go there to the station to board a train, you know, and by that time it was only white men that were driving trains, you know, and we would look at them, you know, admire them, you know. They would be walking at the platform with so much grace, and you know, they were oozing irrespect, you know. They would be carrying their bags, brown bags, shining, and then be having another silver bag on the side, you know, and we'll be standing there admiring them, looking at them, you know, when they were changing coaches, you know, going to the other side, and everybody will be like moving backwards, you know, giving them away to pass, you know, and we would look at them, and then we would board the train, and that's it, you know. And in my wildest dream, I never imagined that I would find myself carrying that bag, walking in the platform, and the people looking at me with admiration, you know.
I think she's reminding me of what Napoleon Hill once said, that what the mind conceives, it can achieve. What the mind conceives, it can achieve. Now, as she was growing up, seeing those train drivers, the mind was conceiving, and what was conceived was achieved.
And can you see the smile? And I'm sure, you know, walking around with so much exuberance. Eh?
Today it's hot.
And remember, we as women, when we came in, we were the second group of women that got the opportunity to drive trains. So you can just imagine, you know, like people were so amazed. People were so happy for us, you know, to see that women are now driving trains, you know, because I was working in the retail, you know, and I do believe that when the universe is with you, things will happen, you know, because when I started applying for a job at Metro Rail, I had got 2 job offers. You know, I was attending 2 interviews. There was MTN when it started. Then there was Metro Rail. You know, I applied for the job. Both of the jobs, I was attending interviews. And then I got both the jobs. I had a choice, you know. For me, when I tell people to say, when the time is right, it will happen. You don't know God's timing, you know. I was working in the retail for quite some time, and all of a sudden I've got 2 job offers. I had to choose, and I chose the latter. Then I said, let me go to the trains and see what is going on, you know. I've been offered a job to work as a train driver. I've seen people driving trains, so it's gonna be me. So I grabbed the opportunity. That's when I came to Metro Rail, and it's been amazing, you know. It's been
so you became a train driver, right? Now take us through the day you drove a train for the first time, alone, with so many passengers. How many passengers did you think you had as well? So it's 2 questions in one.
2 million. I'm sure, but it's a lot. Remember, our trains are packed. You know, the first day, you know, here with trains, guys, I don't want to lie, trains will show you flames. You know, when you drive, when you're still learning, going with the tutor, it's fine. You drive, everything is nice, smooth sailing. Then they give you a train to drive alone. The train showed me flames.
So it clubbed you.
It clapped me.
Sorry for X.
Because now, remember, we are taught also when you drive a train, you are taught to fix. There are faults that you can fix as a train driver for you to move and clear the section. Because remember, the trains cannot overtake each other. You've got a train on the rail, there's another one that's following you. If your train
it's blocking the road.
Fault, it's blocking the road, you have to do something to fix the train so that the train can move. You know, when we started, honestly, it wasn't that smooth sailing because people were still getting used to the idea of women driving trains. And then you find yourself in a situation, your train has failed. Then you say, yeah, what do you expect? Fuzzy, you know, all those things. But then as things got along, they got used to us to such an extent that the passengers now were assisting us as women if you have to reset a train. But on my first day of driving a train, I think I did fail with the train, but then I had to calm myself down because you know what makes you fail is the nerves. You panic. When the train stops, there's a red light that flashes. You know, when that red light flashes on a train, it tells you that the train has a fault. But when you panic. Instead of you being calm and starting to figure out to say, what could the fault be? Then you start panic and then you start making a lot of mistakes and then. But as you gain your experience, even if the red light is there, you just drive the train and go. But my first day was amazing, even though I did fail with the train. I managed to go, but I couldn't sleep, you know. I couldn't. I was just so super excited to say it was me pulling this long thing with passengers, you know. It's an experience that I cannot explain. I cannot, until you experience it, you'll be able to talk about it, but it's something that is out of this world.
And there you are a woman, right? And you've seen these white male train drivers. Now you are, like you're saying, the second group. Now, take us through all the instances, like in the first days when you're walking around in the platform.
You're walking around in the platform, you know, and like, yeah, you will be hearing those comments. Driver fans, yo. I want the Zozo figure. You know, all those comments will be there. But then you get there, you drive the train, and you arrive at Park Station on time. You know, and the thing that makes you happy when the passengers are saying, yo, try sending, can't tell you I shy. You know, all those things, those are the things that were motivating us. Those were the things that were making us wake up in the morning to go to work, knowing that you've made someone's day. Somebody is going to be at work on time because I made it. I made it possible. You know, those were the things that were making me so happy in my job. I love train driving. Even now, this is something that I'm passionate about. So that's what was making me happy all the time. The passengers that are happy to say, yeah, sister, you are shy. We used to say that.
So would you say you were fulfilled?
I was. And the passengers will, you know,
and then some of them used to know you by name then.
Yes, it's true. And then you know that when you drive a train, like it's two lanes. Maybe both the trains are going in the same direction, you know. And then the passengers will be saying, hey, shy, and I say, hey, shy, and I say, you know. And then you feel, you see this train is driving on the side, you are here, and your train is in a good, you know, you just move it. It was nice. Like, it's an experience that I will always treasure for the rest of my life.
I think what you are saying, you remind me of the words of the first general manager of the railways, Sir William Wilson Hoy, when he said, when the master builder has laid a foundation on the rock and built a strong edifice, that edifice will stand for all time. And I think you have actually built a foundation for women in South Africa. And that foundation will stand for all time.
Because, you know, when I started, you know, our parents will be so excited, you know. And my mom, she couldn't keep quiet. She was telling anybody and everybody who cares to listen, I'm not driving train. You know, growing up in the location, and the people are like saying, Mama could drive it. Tumtana could drive it train. She's like, Tumtana come show shy in bed, you know. And it so happened to go to, there was a train that I was driving, then there was an incident that happened on the train. So I had to be interviewed in press, you know. And then there I was, on my radio, on my TV station and everywhere, train driver, you know. And my mom was vindicated, you know, to say, we're a driver, you know. Yeah, those small other things that were just happening. But then, yeah, it's even now, when I tell people that I used to drive a train, I can drive a train, people still they get shocked. They don't know. There are people that don't know that there are women who can drive trains.
Yeah, another question that I want to ask. We have seen the looting and the vandalism of the mall, recently. And we've seen a group that came and they say, not in our name, you are not going to destroy Mapoya Mall. And we've seen the railway infrastructure being vandalized and the trains are not running in other lines. In your view, what is it that can be done to bring the train backs and, the train back and also stopping the vandalization of the railway infrastructure?
I think we need to educate the community. We need to have the community educated to say, these are the infrastructures, they belong to us. They don't belong to anybody else because we are the people who are using these infrastructures. Like now you've raised also the point of vandalism. I stay in Protea. Everything around me was vandalized. There was a time when I had to drive to go and buy a loaf of bread. You understand what I'm saying? I had to literally start a car to go and buy. So I think what we need to do, we need to educate the community to say the infrastructure belongs to us, it doesn't belong to anybody else.
I just want to know, have you ever driven a train where there was someone who actually now started doing train surfing, and what was your reaction towards that?
Okay, you see, with train surfing, as a train driver, I don't have the view of what is going on behind me. We've got a person that is called the metro guard. That's the person that observes the platform, and she or he communicates with me when the train must move. We've got a way of communicating. But me as a train driver, I don't have the view. But I've seen them surfing. I've seen the Spider-Mans, like sometimes when I'm standing in the platform waiting for another train. But these kids are just so brave. I don't know. I wouldn't say brave. I don't know how to explain it, because now there was a new trend now that they were doing. They were playing chicken. Yes. When you play chicken...
She'll explain what is chicken. Eh?
When the train comes on the rail, they stand on the rail. And then they wait until the 11th hour. When you close to them, then they jump. When you come, they do like this. They're looking at you, and the train is coming. It's called chicken. That's the games they play. Remember, when we started the show, we discussed the games we used to play when we grew up. So I'm not sure what happened, because what I've noticed, the youth of now, they don't play any games like we used to. They don't get a chance to be children and grow up. So they've got funny ways of doing things. They go play on the rail. The children are playing on the rails. They do chicken here.
And what are the psychological effects of a train driver? For example, there could be an accident, a derailment, or a train trap. Psychologically, how does it affect you?
Okay, like me, I would say being a child of God, being highly favored. In my journey as a train driver, I've never experienced none of those. I've never run over a person, but I've seen the people who do have support from work that we give is employee wellness program for the people who've been involved in those incidents, of people who were run over by trains, or people who commit suicide. Because with the train, if you're really, 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 really tired of life, just go to the rail. You will not come back. Lie there. The train will slice you.
I just have one question. Did you see how Sis Zozo looked at me when she said that?
Because I'm thinking because you are coming from that part of the world. Perhaps she saw you doing chicken there. I don't know.
You never know. I think I saw somebody.
I have survived
Yellow
chicken,
body and
beef,
so.
all of them.
Yeah, but I think
what is a beef chicken?
No, I said I've survived chicken, beef.
Oh, and beef.
Yeah.
And all of those things. So then the first decade and then the second decade. So you are no longer a train driver.
No, I'm no longer.
Then you started climbing up the ladder.
Yes.
Right? Now, take us through the journey.
Okay. As a train driver, I drove trains about plus minus 10 years. And then, you see, our company is a company that there's growth in our company. But then as a person, you need to be out there. You know, you need to show yourself to say, I'm here for the growth, you know, because nobody will come to you and say, hey, there's growth, there's this. As a person that I could say I'm ambitious. Yeah, that's me. So when I was a train driver, I could see that we had people that were working in the offices, you know, when you sign on, you sign on by them, they were called section managers. Then I wrote a letter and said, I need to be developed in this grade. I need to be developed to work as a section manager. I was given the opportunity, and then the positions were open. I applied. I became a section manager for something like 2-3 years. And then while I was working as a section manager, I also requested to, when my depot manager, my line manager was going on leave, wanting somebody to act in the position, I said, I'm here. I will act in your position, you know. I was given the opportunity to act, and then the positions were open. I applied. I got the job. While I was an assistant manager, there was a position that was open for a train ops manager. My hand was up. You know, I'm that person that is always available. You know, when there's something that needs to be done, I will lift my hand to say, hey, I'm here. You know.
This talks a lot about the character of a person that we are talking to. Now, we're just going to take a quick break, right? We're going to play a song. We still are going to be discussing with you. We just want to take a breather. You know, I can see you losing your breath now. So we are just going to play just one song. It's called Streets Are So Cold. What goes up must come down, and what grows up stays up. That's what's up. It's Mr. Edward. He says streets are so cold. You are still right here at VMC Planet Radio. You are with Mr. Stan and Vision. We have Dr. Mabila Mathebula in the house. We are having our discussion with Zozo, you know. We are not having a discussion with Zozo. We are having a discussion with Zozo, you know. So it should not be mistaken as if we are talking to a building.
That's what I was about to say. And she's not cold like one.
I knew you were gonna come with a punchline.
No, my words are slowly coming back now.
Oh yeah, I can see. Now, so you are still working in a railway industry, right?
Yes.
And there are a lot of people that are actually listening, and some of them wants to become train driver, want to work in the railway environment, and perhaps they might want to understand the conditions there. What are the conditions there?
Okay, if you want a job at the railway, if you do get an opportunity, maybe the job is advertised, you need to apply. You need to have science, maths and science. Those are the requirements. And then when you are hired, there is no train driving school. Like, you know, when you want to buy a car, you go to a driving school, they teach you how to drive a car. But with rail industry, there's in-house training. You get trained from the beginning up to the end. So when you are hired, you will we've got different training centers in different provinces. You go to the training center, you do the theory part, whereby you sit in class and learn. They give you books that you need to learn, and the pass mark is 80%. You need to get 80% in every exam that you write. You need to get 80%. And then when you finish with the theory part, they allocate you to the depot where you do a practical, where you will get a tutor, like a mentor, somebody now who will teach you to drive a train and go with you. Like when you're in a driving school, you've got somebody sitting next to you teaching you how to drive a motor car. But with the train, then you get a tutor. You need to go with the tutor and make up 350 hours of driving. After that, when you're done with the driving, you go back to the training center. They test you, and then if you pass, then you go back to the depot. That's when you will start to drive independently. Still, while you're driving independently, there's monitoring. We've got section managers that will constantly monitor you in terms of task observations to check your train handling. You know, with the train, when you are driving a train, there is something that is called train handling. Because remember, with the train, the heavier the load, the weaker the brakes. So as a train driver, you should be able to understand that concept. Also the gradients. Remember the platforms, we've got gradients, we've got up gradients, down gradients. You should be able to control the speed of your train according to the gradient. Like when you're approaching a platform, if it's a down gradient, you know that you need to prepare your brakes. You know with a train, you don't just brake like with a car. You need to prepare your brakes. If it's a down gradient and the train is packed, you need to start preparing your brakes from a certain distance so that your train can gradually come to the platform nice and slowly and stop in the correct place where the passengers will be able to disembark. And then we've got signals. In a simple term, it's called robots. With the train, you need to know to say if there's a station, there's Naledi Mirafi. You need to know to say between Naledi and Mirafi, how many robots are there? But we call them signals. You need to know what is the gradient. Then when you see a yellow robot, that's a caution. It tells you that the one that's in front of you might be red, which means that you need to stop. So you need to have a proper train handling. So when you are getting a tutor that will be going with you to make those 350 hours, that person will be teaching you train handling, how to brake your train, not to, sometimes the train stops like this and the passengers get jacked. So those are the things that you learn when you are in class. But then the pass mark is 80%, no compromise, because now we are more into safety. So if you get less than 80%, we compromise on safety.
We've got a question here from a listener, Duncan. It says, is it not scary to drive a train?
No, it's actually, to be honest, to drive a train is not scary. It's the easiest thing that you can do. It's easier than a car. Remember, when you drive a train, it's you and the rail. There's no one. Like when you drive a car, somebody will want to cut you, somebody will want to overtake you. People will drive very bad, But with the train, it's you and the train and the rail. So it's really not easy, but you need to have your concentration at all times. You need to be there. You need to be alert. You need to be physically and mentally 100% okay. Because remember, you've got a lot of people that you carry, but it's not easy, it's not difficult. It's the easiest and the most exciting thing that a person can do.
Now, maybe the question will be, if there is a person who has got this, what do they call it? Is the basket, something that they have to complete before.
Yeah, that tick box, the basket, right?
Yeah. How will is it possible for somebody to get that chance? Just to be in the train, perhaps in front with you as a driver?
Oh, I get, well, okay, when you want to drive it, to be
not to drive, just to sit in front. Yeah.
Okay. There's a process that you need to follow. You need to contact our marketing department. They need to arrange a permit for you to be in the footplate. Obviously, you will give your motivation as to why do you need to be in the train, because before the COVID, we also had this initiative of taking a girl child to work. Yeah, sometimes we would be with them on the train, arrange permits for them in PPE, which is protective wear. Yeah, but then if you make that request, it's normally granted.
So, what is it that Zozo wants to still achieve in the railway? What is the one thing that you still want to achieve?
Okay, the sky's the limit. Like I've said before, there's growth. I still want to grow. If there are opportunities, I will grab them with my open hands.
Now, the experience that you have in the railway, what is it that it also teaches you in your like real life situations outside of the railway?
It has taught me to be compassionate, to be patient, to be compassionate in a sense that, remember, I'm in a position where I've got people that are reporting to me. You know, it has taught me to listen more, because you see, we all have our own baggages, you know, and then you find that you've got a member of staff that wants to offload, you know. It has made me grow to be a patient person, to listen, you know, to understand that people are not the same. People have got problems. People are going through the most. If I can be able to help, I do assist.
Now, there are people that are actually listening from, you know, wherever, let's say parts of the country, you know, regions of your rail industry, and they are actually looking at the vandalism. They're actually looking at quite a number of things that are actually happening, and they feel very despondent and disgruntled, and they've got the passion, and then they feel that they still want to contribute in this environment. What is the one thing that you can say to them?
For me, the railway will stand the test of time. The challenges are there, but I do know that we will rise above them. We will rise as the railway. We will rise. Things will happen. We are working, like now we are really working to restore, and it's coming nice and slow, but it's happening. We will restore. The rail will rise up.
So Zozo, another question is, have you been to other countries to see how railways operate there? And I know Stan has been to different countries as I've done. And then how was your experience if you have been to another country to see how maybe London Underground or any other railway overseas?
No, unfortunately, I haven't got
the opportunity.
I didn't get that opportunity yet. So I think I'll only be able to say when I'm on pension, it's in my money. Yeah, but for now, I really don't have that experience. But I understand that the rail in the other countries is very, very nice. I don't know. Yeah.
Maybe if I have to advise you, I think one thing, you know, is to participate in the International Railway Safety Conference. Once you write a paper about your experience, I can personally help you to do that. I've been doing that for the past 26 years as well. This year I'll be presenting a paper in a conference in Korea. Now we can help you and assist you to go overseas.
Woo! Wow! Wow!
So coming here actually assisted you in something. Now, maybe just before we close, right? Now there are maybe a lot of young people that are listening to you, especially young women. They want guidance in terms of career in the railway. How do they reach the railway to be able to get that sort of guidance?
Okay, with the railway, like what the advice that I always give people, you know, is remember when we started, they advertised looking for train drivers. They were looking for train drivers. But then we, as the last group, we were the last group whereby they took people from the street because we were from the street. I didn't have any knowledge about the rail, nothing, zilch, you know. So we were the last group that they stopped. But now what they do, they will advertise to say maybe they're looking for a access controller. I always tell people to say, when you see that advert, apply. Then you will work your way up. We've got people that started at the bottom, you know. Person started as an access controller, went to become a metro guard. Now that person is a train driver. That's an achievement, you know. So if a person sees an ad from Metro Rail, or even it can be Sportnet, you know, Transnet, maybe Transnet, they will say they're looking for train assistants. Those people should apply. If you have the drive, you will make it, you know. Because like the previous guest Otando has said, growth, because the sky is the limit. You can start from the bottom and go up. It's up to you. If you are passionate and this is what you want, you will get it. At the end of the day, she also said we cannot all of us be managers. There will be managers, but when tell yourself, Hori, even if they say ngeke sonke siba ama manager, mina I'll be a manager. You need to tell yourself that ukuthi even though i-company nkulu kunabantu abayi-500, tell yourself ukuthi mabafuna i-manager eyi-1 out of that 500 I will be the one. It will happen. Testify to yourself, uzitshele ukuthi izoyenzeka, and it will happen, and have faith.
Did you see? And she was actually looking straight into you. Looking
Yeah.
into your
I
eyes.
was absorbing that. I was absorbing.
So, but thank you so very much for coming through. We really appreciate your presence. We feel that we are honored and blessed with your presence right here at VMC Planet Radio. It is second to none with Mr. Stern and Vision. We have Dr. Mabila Mathebula. We also have the BIG right here. And we also want to say thank you so very much for all the guests, starting from Upabalo, the vet student. We don't want to say thank you to Dr. Mathebula.
This is
I
hope.
think this is I don't know, maybe he was waiting for us to say, thank you, Dr. Mathebula. No, we're not going to say
No. I thought you were going to say feel at home. I wanted to say to you, how can I feel at home when I'm at home?
This is hope.
Yeah, so this is home for you, Dr. Mathebula, and then we'd like to say thank you so very much to Notando, and thank you so very much to Zozo for coming through. But this is what is going to happen right at this hour. But Zozo, before you go, just say, just shout out. I wanted to get somebody who knows you to say something, and it looks like their voice note are so long, it's not uploading. Perhaps I'm going to send you later on, or maybe while we're still here, it's going to upload. So, yeah. So, you can give a shout out, eh?
Okay, shout out to my family.
Okay, why do you have?
serious. Okay,
Why do you have to take a paper out to read it? So you were prepared.
No. Okay. Shout out to my family. Shout out to my friends. Shout out to Cindy Sakago. She's my friend. She's my ride or die. I hope she's listening. If she's not listening, Zumlalelisa. And shout out
You can
to
say you're gonna kick her ass, it's fine.
Amatensebenza and Prasa if they are listening. Shout out to my mother, my ride or die also. Shout out to my brother. My brother, and she's always telling anybody and everybody who cares to listen. My sister is a train driver.
Even when
Shout
you're no
out to
longer a
him.
train driver.
Yeah, even now she still says that I'm a train driver. Yeah, but thank you very much, Stanley. I hope Uguti, I will inspire some young women out there, or emakhaya or ukuphi, ozitshela ukuthi this is a dream. Makabona isitimela sidlula, ngithi ngiyazi ngizwa bathi abantu basemakhaya bahlala lapha phansi isitimela babona sidlula sase-Transnet, azitshela ukuthi one day it will be me ngidonsa le nsimbi le end. Thank you for having me.
Really, thank you so very much. We really appreciate you.